Every great journey starts with a moment when the world looks at you like you're crazy. They see a kid with big dreams and empty pockets, and they laugh because they think dreams need permission. But some people carry a fire inside them that refuses to go out. They wake up with purpose, they sleep with hunger, and they fight with a belief so powerful that even doubt bows down. That's the kind of energy that separates the regular from the remarkable. That's the spirit millions grew to respect. Respect isn't given just because you want it. Respect is earned in the dark when no one is watching, when the world thinks you're wasting your time. It's earned by pushing harder than anyone expects and refusing to settle for anything less than greatness. It comes from showing up every single day, even when your body screams and your mind shakes. People respect the one who keeps moving, not because it's easy, but because it's impossible for them to stop. There was a time when the environment around him tried to control the size of his dreams. People told him to get a normal job, live a normal life, and stay comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort kills ambition. He chose the harder path because he knew the harder path leads to the higher peaks. And that decision, that refusal to fit in, is what people started to admire. He didn't wait for motivation, he created it. He didn't wait for opportunities, he built them. Every day was a test, and he showed up prepared to bleed, sweat, and sacrifice. Many want success, but only a few are willing to pay the price. He was willing to pay every price. And that's exactly why millions began to believe in him, because he proved that belief backed with action is unstoppable. You see, anyone can talk, but not everyone can turn those words into results. His words were not just noise, they were promises. Promises backed by discipline, obsession, and courage. When he said he would rise, he did. When he said he would win, he did. When he said he would shock the world, he did. People respect that kind of conviction because it's rare, it's raw, and it inspires something deep in every one of us. He came from a place where success wasn't expected, where dreams weren't encouraged, and where people settle because they think they have no choice. But he proved that your background is not your limit, it's your starting point. He showed that greatness doesn't require perfect conditions. It requires heart. It requires grit. It requires the refusal to quit when everything in life tells you to stop. There were days when he struggled, days when doubt tried to whisper in his ear, days when the pressure felt too heavy. But instead of breaking, he sharpened himself. Pressure can crush you or it can carve you into something stronger. He chose to be carved. That choice became the foundation of the respect he earned worldwide. Every punch he threw, every step he took, every risk he embraced came from a place of pure belief. Not belief handed to him, but belief built by battle, built by failure, built by relentless pursuit. People saw that. People felt that. They saw someone who wasn't afraid to take the hits, wasn't afraid to lose, wasn't afraid to stand alone. And that courage made millions stand with him. He inspired not because he was perfect, but because he was real. He showed the world the truth. Confidence is not arrogance when it's earned. Discipline is not torture when it builds your destiny. Dedication is not madness when your purpose is clear. People saw someone living the life they secretly wanted. Bold, fearless, unapologetic, and they respected it. He taught a lesson that echoes in the hearts of anyone chasing a dream. If you want something, speak it. Believe it. Work for it like your life depends on it. Because one day, it will. He didn't whisper his dreams, he declared them. Loudly, fearlessly, and then fought with everything he had to make them real. That kind of energy is impossible to ignore. The world respects him because he became proof. Proof that you can rise from nothing. Proof that you can turn doubt into domination. Proof that self-belief is the greatest weapon a human can carry. Millions don't just respect the fighter. They respect the journey, the mindset, the transformation. They respect the young man who refused to be ordinary. And that's why millions respect him today. Not because he had an easy path, Not because he was chosen, but because he chose himself. He decided he was worthy before anyone else did. He walked his path with courage, passion, and unbreakable belief. And in doing so, he taught the world a powerful truth. Greatness starts with one decision: the decision to never give up on who you know you can become. Self-belief is the spark that turns an ordinary life into an extraordinary journey. It's that voice inside you that speaks louder than the doubt around you, louder than the criticism, louder than the fear. When the world sees you as nothing, self-belief reminds you that you are destined for something greater. Most people wait for others to believe in them, but the ones who rise are the ones who believe in themselves first. They don't need applause, validation, or permission. They create their own path, fueled by a conviction that cannot be broken. That kind of belief is rare because it takes courage to trust your own vision when nobody else can see it. True self-belief isn't loud bragging, it's quiet certainty. It's waking up every day knowing that the dream is yours to build. It's refusing to shrink your ambitions to make others comfortable. It's standing tall when life tries to push you down, because you know every setback is shaping you, not stopping you. Most people quit the moment things get tough, but those who have self-belief keep moving forward even with shaking hands and bruised hearts. That's what makes them unstoppable. They don't run from challenges. They run toward them, because they know pressure is where power is created. Self-belief becomes your armor in a world full of doubt. People will question you, criticize you, laugh at you, and try to convince you that your goals are too big. But when you carry genuine belief, their words become background noise. They can't weaken you because you've already decided who you are. You've already chosen your destiny. Every great success story began with one person saying, "I can do this," even when everyone else said the opposite. That moment, that decision, is where champions are born. When you believe in yourself deeply enough, your actions change. You walk differently. You speak differently. You train differently. You move with purpose because self-belief removes hesitation. You don't wait for opportunities. You create them. You don't fear failure. You respect it as part of the process. You don't dream small. You dream in a way that scares you, drives you, and forces you to evolve. That level of belief is magnetic. It inspires others. It makes them look at you and say, "This person is different." The strongest part of self-belief is that it becomes your engine. When you're tired, it pushes you. When you're afraid, it strengthens you. When you feel alone, it reminds you why you started. Self-belief is the foundation of every victory, every breakthrough, every moment of greatness. It is the inner fire that cannot be stolen, cannot be copied, and cannot be destroyed, unless you let it. And that's why the ones who hold onto it tightly are the ones who rise from nothing and rewrite their destiny. Struggle is the place where most people break, but for a true warrior, struggle is the place where greatness is born. Every setback, every doubt, every hard moment becomes fuel. You don't rise because life is easy. You rise because life tried to crush you and you refused to stay down. Pain becomes your teacher. Pressure becomes your training partner. The world pushes against you, and instead of folding, you push back with twice the force. People respect someone who climbs out of darkness with fire in their eyes, someone who refuses to let circumstances decide their future. When you come from struggle, you learn things comfort will never teach you. You learn how to fight when you're tired, how to stay calm when everything falls apart, how to believe in yourself when nobody else does. Struggle builds a toughness that can't be bought, copied, or faked. It sharpens your instincts, strengthens your mindset, and turns you into someone who doesn't run from challenges but runs toward them. That's the difference between someone who hopes for success and someone who earns it. Struggle creates warriors because it forces you to develop a heart that doesn't quit. There were times when the weight of the world felt unbearable, when expectations, pressure, and doubt tried to suffocate the dream. But instead of breaking, he used it. Every insult became motivation. Every failure became a lesson. Every setback became a step forward. That transformation, that ability to turn hardship into hunger, is what makes people respect the journey. They see someone who didn't have anything handed to him, someone who carved his destiny with blood, sweat, and pure determination. The truth is, struggle reveals who you really are. Anyone can smile when life is smooth, but only the strong can stand tall when everything collapses. Only the relentless can keep moving when their legs shake and their mind screams to stop. That's where champions separate themselves from the crowd. They don't avoid pain. They embrace it because they know pain is shaping them into something unbreakable. Every difficult moment becomes proof that quitting is not an option. When you turn struggle into strength, nothing in this world can intimidate you anymore. You've already survived the worst. You've already faced the darkness. You've already fought battles nobody else saw. So when a new challenge comes, you don't panic, you smile. You know you are built for this. You know the storm doesn't destroy you, it builds you. And that transformation is what earns the respect of millions. They see a fighter who didn't just survive the struggle, he used it to become unstoppable. Speaking a dream into reality is not about talking big, it's about declaring your destiny before the world can see it. It's about saying the impossible with such conviction that even your doubts start to believe you. Most people whisper their dreams because they fear judgment, but the ones who rise speak their dreams loudly, boldly, fearlessly. They don't hide their ambition. They don't shrink their goals. They let the world hear exactly who they plan to become, and then they go out and prove every word right. That kind of confidence shakes people because it comes from a place deeper than hope, it comes from certainty. When you speak your dreams with power, you are making a promise to yourself. You're putting pressure on your name, pressure on your actions, pressure on your future. But pressure is what creates diamonds. When you say, I will rise, you force yourself to train harder, think sharper, and move with intention. You align your actions with your words. Anyone can think big, but only the brave speak big and then back it up with relentless effort. That's why people respect the ones who dare to say it before they become it. Every prediction he made wasn't arrogance, it was manifestation backed by discipline. He didn't speak to impress others, he spoke to strengthen his own belief. He understood that the mind listens to what you tell it. If you tell it you're average, you will stay average. But if you tell it you're destined for greatness, your mind starts to shape your reality around that vision. He didn't wait for proof. He created the proof. And people admired him because he showed what happens when words and work collide. The power of speaking your dreams is that it changes how you walk into the world. You no longer move like someone hoping for success, you move like someone expecting it. Your posture changes. Your focus sharpens. You carry yourself like the future version of you is already here. That kind of energy is magnetic. It attracts opportunities, respect, and momentum. People start to see something different in your eyes, a fire that refuses to fade. But speaking dreams into reality also comes with critics. People will laugh. They will doubt. They will say you're crazy. And that's exactly why most people stay silent. But the ones who dare to speak stand out because they're willing to risk judgment in order to build greatness. They don't care if people laugh in the beginning because they know those same people will clap in the end. He proved that every bold declaration becomes a weapon when backed by action, discipline, and absolute belief. When you speak your dreams, you are giving your future a voice. You are declaring war on your limitations. You are choosing to live life on your terms instead of letting fear write your story. And that courage, that audacity, is what inspires millions. People respect someone who doesn't just dream, but declares the dream, believes the dream, and fights until the dream becomes reality. That's the mindset that turns vision into victory. A relentless work ethic is the difference between wanting success and deserving it. Most people talk about ambition, but only a few live it every single day. While others sleep, relax, and make excuses, the obsessed are grinding, sharpening, improving. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for motivation. They show up even when they're tired, even when they're hurting, even when nobody is cheering. That consistency, that refusal to slow down, is what builds champions long before the spotlight ever hits them. Success isn't magic. It's the result of commitment that never wavers. A strong work ethic means you treat every day like it's your chance to rise. No shortcuts, no laziness, no negotiation with weakness. You do the work because the work is what transforms you. Most people quit when it becomes uncomfortable, but someone with a relentless drive keeps pushing even when the body says stop. That's the difference. That's what separates greatness from mediocrity. You earn respect not by what you do once, but by what you do repeatedly, even when no one is watching. Behind every highlight moment, behind every victory, behind every roar of the crowd, there are countless hours of preparation that nobody saw. Early mornings, late nights, brutal sessions that break the weak but build the strong. He didn't just train to participate, he trained to dominate. He trained like the world was coming for him, so he would always stay ahead. And that mindset, that obsession with improvement, is why millions respect the journey. They see someone who pushes past limits, someone who never settles, someone who understands that talent means nothing without effort. Relentless work ethic is about embracing the grind when the excitement fades. Anyone can be motivated on day 1, but champions stay driven on day 100, day 300, day 1000. They understand that greatness requires sacrifice. Sacrifice of comfort, sacrifice of distractions, sacrifice of anything that slows the mission. And instead of complaining, they commit. They welcome the grind because they know that discipline today becomes success tomorrow. True work ethic also means refusing to be outworked. It means looking at the person you were yesterday and promising to beat them. It means being so devoted to your craft that improvement becomes an addiction. You don't stop because you're tired. You stop because the job is done. You don't relax because you've succeeded. You push harder because you know success comes with a target on your back. And he embraced that pressure. He fed on it. He used it to elevate himself beyond what anyone thought possible. A relentless worker doesn't chase greatness, he creates it. Every punch, every drill, every repetition is performed with purpose. Every training session is another step toward a future only he could see. People respect him not just for the victories, but for the grind behind the victories. They respect the discipline, the dedication, the sacrifice. They respect the man who decided he would never let anyone outwork him, outgrind him, or outbelieve him. And that's why his journey inspires millions. Because he proved that if you show up every day with focus, hunger, and commitment, the world has no choice but to notice. The relentless work ethic is the engine behind every success, the foundation behind every breakthrough, and the reason he rose from nothing to become a symbol of possibility. That's the kind of work ethic that turns ordinary men into legends.